This episode is brought to you by Standard Deviant Brewing. Located at 280 14th Street in the Mission and at 1070 Maryland Street in the Dogpatch, Standard Deviant has been making the coldest tasting beer in SF since 2016. Find them in your favorite bars and restaurants throughout the city. And if they don't carry Standard Deviant, ask them why. I still love their 14th Street home, but one of my new favorite spots in San Francisco is Standard Deviant's Pier 70 location, which they opened in the Dogpatch this spring. It's a gorgeous space with floor-to-ceiling windows looking out on the bay, and it's easy to get to on Muni. Even if beer isn't your thing, I'm guessing that good times and community are, and Standard Deviant has all of the above covered for you. Follow them on social media at Standard Deviant Brewing.
I'm working on a show called Spanish Stew, and it begins the first day that I arrived in San Francisco with my girlfriend. And the first place we go to, this is not a lie, is Castro Street. But it was very random because I had my job, since I don't know how to drive, was to, hold the map. We had paper maps back then, and on the map, because I'm half Cuban, half Puerto Rican, on the map I saw there was a Castro Street.
That was Marga Gomez. I'm Jeff, and this is Storied San Francisco, a podcast about artists, activists, and working people who make this city what it is. Welcome to Season 8. The theme for this season is every kind of people, and for me, Marga is some kind of person. I've followed her for at least the last 15 years. Met her once back in the day, but reconnected with her this summer. We chatted at Noe Cafe in Noe Valley about Marga's Cuban dad and Puerto Rican mom, how they met, growing up in New York City, going to college as far away in the state as she could, and eventually hopping in a car with her girlfriend for a fateful drive across the country during the bicentennial. Be sure to check back this Thursday for part 2 with Marga. And that night, come on out to Minibar for the opening of Every Kind of People, our art show celebrating diversity and kicking off Season 8 of Storied San Francisco. Here's Marga Gomez.
I am Marga Gomez. I'm a writer-performer of 15 one-person shows, and I am taking a day off from finishing my script to talk to past Jeff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am past Jeff.
Yeah, I'm talking to past Jeff now.
Yeah. Wow, how good I looked that day.
And
it all went to shit after that.
And I think I'm current Marga.
You are present day Marga.
Yes.
Yeah, listeners don't know this, but I can touch you. So I'm pretty sure you're real.
You're supposed to ask for permission because it's 2025.
I know. Am I canceled?
No, I'm going to go back to past Marga, and I'm going to give past Jeff permission to touch my, my wrist.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. I mean, it was through a jacket and a shirt, so.
Yeah. It was a protected
as these
touch.
Things go, you're pretty safe.
Did I start off on the wrong foot?
So I grew up in Manhattan, in a neighborhood that's kind of famous now, Washington Heights.
Yeah.
My parents were entertainers in Spanish language show business. I was the only child that they ever had together, but they've had, I have half siblings here and there. I was very influenced to become a performer because of my parents, especially my father, who was a comedian and a producer and a screenwriter. And so I went to Catholic school, and it's true what they say. they're pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Pretty gay, but in a brutal way, not a fun way.
Yeah.
It would never make it as a gay bar, Catholic school. So
maybe certain parts.
Yeah. So I think that if a therapist were to listen to me, now, they would probably say, "Oh yeah, this all stems from Catholic school."
Right, because some people want to find causes for things, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But some things just happen also.
Some things just happen, but no, but I do think that it's my lack of. Well, people say I'm very disciplined, but I think there's just certain things. I'm not good at adulting.
Okay.
Not good at adulting. So maybe I do have discipline for immaturity, but I
Okay.
don't have discipline for adulting. And I think that is because my parents were maybe narcissists, show business people.
Okay.
And so the discipline I got was through Catholic school,
That's cool.
and I kind of do better really when I'm bossed around a little bit.
Got it.
I'm not. This is not an ad for a kink lover or anything.
Right. Right. If you take it that way,
Yeah.
that's on you.
Yeah.
So, can I ask what you said? Your parents were both entertainer performers. What did your mom do,
My mother.
or does?
No, they've both passed on.
Okay.
My mother was a dancer. She came from Puerto Rico as a teenager, young teenager, and they lived in the Bronx. My grandmother, and she wanted to be an actress, and so to get money for acting school, she was a dancer. She danced Afro-Cuban mambo, and then in the in her last years of performing, she was a belly dancer.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, in Anglo nightclubs. But when she started out, she played in these theaters that my father produced shows in, and these theaters were like they were like vaudeville houses, but they were basically. I think they had been former vaudeville houses, variety shows. They were like, there was a balcony, sometimes two balconies, and
Wow.
and the community, which was the emerging Latino community in New York, people would work real hard, and then they would go to the shows, and the shows would be a variety show mixed with a movie, a movie that's
Oh.
made Mexican movies. That was kind of like Spanish language Hollywood. They were
Yeah.
very over the top. You can see some of those old movies on Spanish television. And then in between the two movies, there would be about an hour variety show, and it would begin
Live
a- what?
live performers.
live,
Between the
a
okay.
live variety
Yeah.
show, and the shows would be booked by my father. My father would be the MC. He'd also have a comedy sketch in it, which my mother would perform in, and
Yes.
sometimes his other and some of the bands, the orchestras that he had were orchestras like Tito Puente, Eddie Palmieri, Willie Colon. So
Big names.
It was. I got to meet Tito Puente once when I performed at the Black and White Ball in San Francisco.
Amazing.
Yeah, and I actually also attended his funeral. I mean, but so did all of Latino New York. So basically, I was out, on the sidewalk, and saw his coffin go by. So
Can I ask
anyway, that was
what era your parents were doing this?
this was my parents met.
decades?
I was born. I've been lying about my age for like my entire career, but I'll tell you now, I'm 70,
Okay.
and
Wow.
I know
Yeah.
they can't.
There will be
Go
pictures
ahead.
with this pot. You
Go
look
ahead.
amazing.
I feel amazing. I mean,
Good.
if you, if that's why adulting is bad, because
Make you
I'm
old.
still 12 years old.
Hell
you
yes.
know?
Hell yes.
So, anyhow, so
So they were performing roughly what decades?
yeah. So they were. Well, my father started in the 40s. My father came from Cuba. He was scouted by someone from the Johnny Walker Scotch label.
Oh, wow.
And he was working in the we call that BC, before Castro.
Oh.
He was working in Havana in those amazing shows, live shows they had, and he was actually a dancer, and he was in Spanish it's called fonomímico, but it's a lip syncer.
Oh,
A
yeah,
lip
yeah.
syncer.
Yeah.
But not really like, not like RuPaul or anything. He would just, it would be like
Or
physical.
Milli Vanilli.
Milli Vanilli. Yeah, no, there'd just be these funny songs that he would do.
That's an art.
It's an art.
Still an art. Yeah.
Oh, right. Right. But what he did is different from that.
Right.
It was just a form that was popular back then.
Yeah.
Anyhow, they saw him and they said they're going to take him to New York. What they didn't realize, because these were, Anglo men, and they didn't realize that my father didn't speak English. So when they brought him to New York, they put him in this big club, Chateau Madrid, and he was just speaking Spanish because in the 40s and 50s, kind of like Ricky Ricardo time, Latin entertainment was like a trend that white people wanted to go see. But the entertainers had to be able to speak English,
Oh.
So
Those were their grounds for, was it exploitative?
exploitive. Probably, yeah.
At least a little bit. You mentioned white men, so I'm assuming it was.
Yeah, I mean, he was brought by an alcohol corporation,
Scotch
so I'm
label,
guessing,
yeah.
But so what happened was they discovered, he couldn't speak English, and so they just dumped him. So there he was in New York, but there was a thriving Latino entertainment scene for all the new people that were coming in from Cuba, Mexico, Dominican Republic, and so my father started as a performer, but then he got the means to production. These big theaters were also owned by white people, so it was never really anything that was Latino owned.
Got it.
But he did pretty good.
Were
at the
those
time.
Spanish language shows?
Yes, these big theaters, these big they were like the size of the Castro Theater.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
But they weren't owned by Latinos. They weren't owned by people of color. They were owned by white people then who would just bring in someone like my dad to run the shows, and then then when they didn't have shows, they just had the Spanish movies.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. So you come from that world
Yes.
directly, right?
Directly.
Like, it's not like, oh, it was my grandmother, grandfather, uncle, whatever. It's like,
No,
no,
it was
mom and dad.
It was nepotism without any advantages.
Yes. You're not a nepo baby, but yeah.
I should be.
You mentioned Catholic school. What other sort of anecdotes or generalizations about your time in New York do you want to share with folks?
Well, I was very influenced by comedy. I would, watch it on TV. I was very, very happy when I saw, Phyllis Diller, or Toady Fields, or, any of the comedians I saw on TV. And I felt, as a kid, that I could do anything because my parents were a little bit like royalty in this humble working class neighborhood that we grew up in. Like my parents would go outside and people would be their fans.
Knew them, yeah.
And so, I felt a little bit entitled when I was little.
Okay.
And then after my parents split up, I went with my mother to Long Island to a white neighborhood, and all that entitlement, all that self-esteem was just like out the door because I was the only, one of the only brown kids in this white high school, this affluent neighborhood.
Wow.
So the thought that, I will be a performer like my dad, that went away because I was really. Everything I saw was mainstream. Every woman I saw was, very feminine, very white, very blonde.
Stepford wife.
Stepford wife.
A little bit. I don't know.
Oh well, I mean mostly like what I saw in the media, on TV and films.
Yeah. Okay.
Because as a kid, I thought, I'm gonna do what my parents do, and then when I was living in this white neighborhood, and then I just saw the media. I wasn't going to Spanish language entertainment. I just thought, I guess that's really that's really the world. That's really mainstream, and I don't think I'm, going to do it. So those were pretty shitty years when I lived in Long Island.
High school years, you said?
High school
or?
years. High school
Okay.
years. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And it was almost like a suspended animation, like all those years that I was in high school. I don't have any fun stories like that. I just wanted to, just to get out.
Right. The object
Yeah.
was graduate and get out, or?
Graduating high school.
Yeah, and then-
yeah,
and
I
then- and then
graduated
get the
high
fuck
school.
out.
Oh, yeah,
And
and
get
then I
the
went to
fuck out.
college. I
Yeah.
picked a college that was the farthest I could get with, my New York State scholarship, whatever that was. So I had to pick a New York State school. So I went to one that was on the border of Canada in
Like
Oswego.
Buffalo or something?
Oswego.
Oswego. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, same deal. Same
Yeah.
terrible weather.
Yeah.
And I loved it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Because you were away, right?
Yes, and I was very high.
Yes.
And I was doing
yes.
acid, and I was, and I was like checking out girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let me just try to do math real fast.
Don't try too hard.
Was this like late 60s, early 70s that you were in college?
Yes. Wait a minute. 70s, I think.
Early
yeah,
70s.
Yeah, early 70s.
Okay. That's
yeah.
a fun time.
Yeah, it was really great. It was
Yeah.
really great. That was all, Crosby, Stills, Nash, Joni Mitchell.
Yes.
Women's, what they call women's music, but basically, storytellers.
Joni Mitchell.
Chris Williamson.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, just
Joan Baez.
Joan Baez, yeah.
Carly Simon.
Dylan, all that. So
all that stuff, yeah.
yeah, so it was a good time to be 18. Yeah.
Fun. And did you actually like so?
Oh, that's actually, if you don't mind me jumping ahead.
Let's do it.
That's how I wound up in San Francisco because of a girl I met in college.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
From here, or just wanted to come here?
Oh no, she was in college in New York, so she was, a New Yorker, and wound up, having this little love affair that was cut short because she slept with somebody. But I didn't know until the day before we made our cross-country drive
Road
to
trip.
San Francisco.
Yes. Whose idea was it between the two of you? It was
To go to San Francisco? Hers.
Okay.
I did have a romanticized idea about San Francisco because there was this, I think it was either, oh boy, this definitely dates me, but Life magazine or Look magazine, they did a big color feature on San Francisco, and they were just all these pictures of hippies. And thing is even though my mother was a dancer and a belly dancer, she was a Latina mother first, very, very strict.
Okay.
And her biggest fear was that I would get pregnant by a boy.
Ooh, yeah.
And then when she realized I'm not going to be with a boy,
That's not gonna happen.
then she was like, realized, I played that wrong.
Oh, oops. Yeah.
So because I had such a strict mother, I started looking at San Francisco and the freedom, like the freedom of the hippies and the music and everything. I just, and I loved marijuana already, and tried acid, was doing that way too much. And so then this girl, my girlfriend, she had graduated from college. I never quite finished because of acid. So, but I
You
was
got a
still
different kind
kind
of education.
yeah,
Right?
yeah. I was just hanging
okay.
around like the Fonz. And then when she was going out west, I went with her.
Okay.
Had no idea what I would do. But back then, it just seemed, when you're 20, 21, it's just you're not worried about anything.
You don't have time for plans.
Yeah.
You just go and do. And yeah. What year was this that road trip?
It was 76, and that's what I'm actually writing a show about that. So
Yes.
so I know I remember it very well because it was the bicentennial year.
Yep.
And we drove across, I think it was Route 66. I know that we entered San Francisco and we were pretty much at Big Sur. So I don't know which route would get us there.
Coming up like Highway 1 or something?
I think we went up, Highway 1. She was very much a nature person, so she was into like scenic routes. So
Nice.
we, and we did some campgrounds of America, Motel 6s,
Yes.
and all that. But, okay, I'm embarrassed to say this, Jeff, but I still don't know how to drive because I'm from Manhattan, so she did all the driving.
I don't think you should be embarrassed. That's awesome.
Okay.
No, honestly, yeah. I think that's great.
Well, I assumed that I guess I still assumed, even though mainstream entertainment was white and straight, I still assumed that I was going to be famous somehow and I would have a driver. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Hey, I'm not going to say you don't deserve one. I mean, but I guess we're jumping ahead. So you got here without a plan.
Oh, right.
Which I think a lot of people did and do.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
much more so than now.
Back then, yeah.
I moved here in 2000. Same. I look back and I'm like, I didn't know I'd be here a year, much less 25 years. Right?
Wow.
So I do relate.
Yeah. Wow, that's 25 years ago. Yeah.
And it's fucking wacky.
Dang. Yeah.
Anyway.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Goes by fast.
Yeah, it does.
And
But you're coming up on 50.
What?
You're coming up on 50 years here.
Let's cut that.
Okay.
Seriously, I don't need to.
I think that's awesome. But yes,
Yeah,
I'll cut it. Yeah,
but
sure. Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
No. Okay. No. I still have a hard time dealing with it. My parents also lied about their age. It's part of being in show business, but I have to give up on this, Jeff. So yeah, I'm coming up on 50 years. It's still kind of, it pains me. But
the numbers are weird.
Yeah.
The numbers are just weird.
Yeah. Well, what happens is people don't think you're relevant anymore, and so. But there's nothing I can do about people who are not, bright enough to understand these things. But the thing about driving across during the bicentennial year, which was 50 years ago, practically almost, is that we were going through America. America that celebrated the Declaration of Independence. A country that I know was racist, that I know was homophobic and misogynist. In fact, that year was only the second year that women were allowed to have a credit card.
Yes, I've heard about this.
So it was a crazy time. And so it was just kind of ironic that we were just seeing all this Americana and like these little small town parades celebrating. I think we were in some small town on the 4th of July. So I think I got to San Francisco sort of in August of 76.
Yep.
And it was foggy as fuck, And
Fog.
It's like, what is this?
Strange the first time. And then you're like, and 3 years later, you're like, it's normal.
I love that it's foggy now.
Love it.
Yeah, it just kind of makes me feel like, like it's the spirit.
Yeah.
The spirit, just checking in with us. It's like, don't worry, I'm still here.
Yep.
Yeah.
What are your first impressions? Besides fog.
I just thought it was just so beautiful, so exquisite. I came from the most imprint on me was from growing up in Manhattan, which is just a lot of brick, a lot of what is that? Dark colors, subdued colors, which I love. And then Long Island, which was hideous,
in the other direction.
Pink marble and landscaping, and every house looks the same and costs too much. So when I saw this, it was the character of the city. Now this is I'm working on a show called Spanish Stew, and it begins the first day that I arrived in San Francisco with my girlfriend.
Okay.
And the first place we go to, this is not a lie, is Castro Street. But it was very random because I had my job, since I don't know how to drive, was to, hold the map. We had paper maps back then. And on the map, because I'm half Cuban, half Puerto Rican, on the map I saw there was a Castro Street. And I love Cuban food. And so I said to her, let's go there first. I mean, she had some contact, and it wasn't really far from it. It was like a Noe Valley, but I said, let's go to Castro Street and get some food.
Okay.
We park on Castro Street, and I didn't understand where the Cubans were. Everybody was very fair-haired, and yet they were dressed like Fidel Castro in green fatigues. Yes. There was the Castro movie theater, and then there was a place called the Castro Cafe. And I thought, oh, this is where we'll go for some tostones, some picadillos. We walk in there, and there was no Cuban food at all. And it blew my mind. And then what happened, Jeff, is, again, it's not show stars, but there was a man in a red dress, full beard, beautiful, small-framed man, and they were throwing him out, probably them today. They threw him out on the sidewalk.
Oh.
And that was... I mean, in my father's shows, there was drag and stuff, but I'd never seen in a cafe.
Right.
Somebody thrown out.
Not on stage.
And then he got up and just was laughing and laughing about it, even though that's kind of intense to be thrown out on the
violent.
Sidewalk.
Yeah.
It turns out years later, the person who was thrown out of the cafe was Coco Vega, who was a member of the legendary Angels of Light, which was a troupe that I think spun out from the Cockettes, which is, again, a very famous queer trailblazing group.
Yeah.
And so Coco was legendary. Coco was also one of the first casualties in the arts community of AIDS in the 80s. But all I knew was just this person and a perennial character in the Castro.
That was Marga Gomez. We recorded this episode at Noe Cafe in Noe Valley. On the next Storied San Francisco, hear what Marga has been up to since she arrived in the city. Part 2 drops this Thursday, wherever you get podcasts. And don't forget to join us at Minibar Thursday for the opening of our Every Kind of People art show. Music for Storied San Francisco was produced, performed, and curated by Otis McDonald. Our contributing producer is Aaron Lim of Bitch Talk Podcast. And the show is produced and hosted by me, Jeff Hunt. Now in our 8th season, we have more than 280 episodes available on our website, storiedsf.com, or wherever you listen to podcasts. If possible, please rate and review the show. I want to know what you think. Sign up for our monthly newsletter on the About page of our website, and follow us on Instagram and Threads at StoriedSF. Reach us there or email us at storiedsf@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. Try to stay hopeful in these dark times. Keep being wacky, creative, and kind out there. And we'll see you next time on Storied San Francisco. We acknowledge and respect the first humans of the unceded land we call San Francisco, the Ramaytush Ohlone. We condemn the genocide of these and other tribes across the Western Hemisphere. We honor their legacy and history, and we support rematriation and sovereignty efforts.